Okay, we're back again. So, yeah, I had a pressing issue that required my attention. Okay, let me continue with the video. That there is no, the video titled so that there is no angel named Lucifer. And first of all, I'd like to give all praises once again. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, which is known of the Heavenly Father, the God of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Bible. Yahweh Shai is only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kodash. I also give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, who spread the truth of the gospel throughout the whole corner of this earth, helping to seal and edify the elect. And I like to give salutations to the brothers that are preaching these words, that are preaching this gospel of truth in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Okay, so where we stopped before was Psalm 103, chapter verse 20. I was trying to show that all the angels obey the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I have to read Psalm 103 verse 20 again. Bless the Lord, you his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. So in other words, I'm just trying to use this to prove that yes, all the angels actually obey the commandments of the word, the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. They do his will, they obey his words. Even this spiritual demon, Satan, or Lucifer, whatever name you'd want to call him. In fact, over my reviews, I've started to realize that this Lucifer that these Christians also speak of is actually a human adversary rather than a spiritual demon. The one that rebels, that has the delusions of grandeur to become like the Most High Yahweh. That fits Esau and his elite's MO more than any spiritual demon or any devil. So basically, just wanted to bring out this scripture to show you that yes, all the angels they do his commandments and they hearken unto the voice of his words, as it says. Now, someone to get another scripture, Psalms 78, verse 49. And I'll start from the bottom. I'll start from. Maybe I'll start from the. Here you go. Let's start from the 31. The wrath of Yahweh, or the wrath of the power, came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still and believed not for his wondrous works. So he's talking about the sins of the people of Israel. How they continually sin no matter how much signs and wonders Yahweh brought upon them. Okay. Therefore their days did it consume in vanity and their years in trouble. This is not reading from the topic because when I get to my main point, I want you to be able to know who actually did all these things. I want you to know that it was not the devil, but rather it was Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai himself that did these things. When he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned and inquired early after power. And they remembered that power was their rock, and the high power their redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouths, they lied unto him with their tongues, for their heart was not right in him with him. Neither were they steadfast in his covenants, but he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity, and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were flesh, a wind that passeth away, and cometh not again. So here, Yahweh is forgiving the children of Israel of their sins because they turned back to Him. He's trying to show mercy to them as long as they repented. He was trying to, bring mercy upon them, show mercy to them. But they still continued in their righteousness. How oft did they provoke Him in the wilderness and grieve Him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted God and limited the Holy One of Israel. As you can see, the scripture talking about Yahweh, how the Israelites tempted and sinned against him, and they remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers unto blood and their floods that they could not drink. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locusts. He destroyed their vines and hills, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So there you have it. Yahweh sent evil angels to the people of Israel, the people of the nation of Israel when they had sinned against him. So there are even the good angels and the evil angels, or the so-called fallen angels, as the Christians say. All of them still answer to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. All of them still answer to God, as you like to call him, rather whatever other entity you worship. But this is the true God of the Bible, and this is how it actually works. All the angels work for him, and all the angels do his will. Both the evil angels and the good angels. And yes, you just read it right here. Yahweh has evil angels that do his bidding. Yahweh has evil angels that he sends to give the wicked, that he sends to judge the wicked in his anger and his wrath and his indignation. So there you have it. I've proved that both the good angels and the evil angels both say Yahweh. So there is no way that an angel could actually rebel against God, or rather, can rebel against Yahweh. So there's no way that Lucifer could actually be an angel. There's no way that there's actually an angel called Lucifer that rebelled against God, because there's no way an angel would never rebel against Yahweh. They do his will, and the evil angels are still under his commands. So how can you fall? How can you rebel against somebody but you're still under their commands? Not possible. Let me get another passage, because these are these ridiculous Christians are. They will claim that the devil is running around rebelling against God and doing all this evil. But yet here the scriptures talk about how let me just read it. For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Okay, so here we see that he's talking about angels that sinned and were cast down into hell and delivered into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. So that means that those angels right now are trapped, awaiting their judgment, waiting for when Yahweh will decide to bring them to judge them. So that means that there's no way that these angels could actually influence the world of man. So if Lucifer actually sin against God, actually rebel against God, he will be trapped among them too, awaiting in judgment. But you see these Christians talking about, these Judeo Christians talking about how Lucifer is busy influencing the world around him. And yes, and I'll not go around and say that there's no angel, there's no angel influencing the actions of the wicked, because that would just be erroneous. There actually is the spiritual demon Satan, but what I am saying is that Satan is not doing, and everything is doing, all his operations are not against the Most High. They are actually for him. That he still works for the Most High. He still works for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. That Yahweh Hashem Yahweh even gave him the command. I even told him that this is what he should do. This is what he must do, and he happily said, "Yes, Lord, I will do it." Then you also get Jude chapter 1 verse 6. It basically says the same thing. But it basically says the same thing, because it's all the scriptures. The scriptures, it speaks the same thing. The scriptures has the same doctrine. Scriptures have a singular doctrine. So it's always not, it's basically normal for the scriptures to repeat itself sometimes, because it is the same doctrine being repeated over and over again, so that you can get more understanding. That's why we say precept upon precept, line upon line, because you have to get because basically different parts of the scriptures basically say the same thing. So you have to get them and connect them to each other, so you can present your case, and so you can be edified and understand the scriptures better. So this is Jude chapter 1 verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, are reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Let's have to give the breakdown for these angels I'm talking about right here. Because as I open my mouth and I said that the angels cannot actually rebel against God. And here it speaks about angels that sinned and that basically rebelled against God. So I have to give another I have to give a breakdown of this part so I not cause any confusion. You know what? I should probably just go and get it right now so that brothers can be edified and not get too confused. Let me go and get it. Sons of God. So here is that passage that actually shows that here it is. And it says, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also his flesh, and yet his days shall be 120 years. So this is actually the breakdown for 2 Peter 2:4 and Jude 1:6. Because basically this is how it goes. The sons of God during the time of Noah that saw the daughters of men and decided to basically have sex with them and give children because they saw them and they were horny and they were looking for looking to get little. They were not actual angels, rather they were men. But they were considered angels because, as you know, human beings are also considered equal to angels or sometimes above them. Even in Judeo Christianity, you hear that same story. As the scripture say, "Ye are gods." Should I get it? So let me just finish this one off first. Like in this chapter 3, it says, that's why in chapter 3, Yahweh says, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his day shall be 120 years. And this flesh that we're talking about, this body, basically traps the spirit in the body, which is basically like an angel, trapped in human flesh. This spirit is the flesh of the chains of darkness that were reserved until the day of judgment. Because as you know, when a human being dies, his spirit leaves him and does what? Go for judgment. Or that, or rather, yes, go to the Heavenly Father and receive his judgment. So this body this flesh is the chains of darkness that were cast on that we were put under. And another passage that I can use to show that is in Psalms. Let me get it. Ye are gods. Here it is. Psalms 82 verse 6, and it says, I have said ye are gods, and all you are children of the Most High. And this is speaking to the Israelites right now. It's speaking to the Israelites that says ye are gods and all ye are children of the Most High, but ye shall die like men and fall as one of the princes, Salakia. And basically, this goes back to the definition of Israel. So Israel is the Hebrew word of Israel is Yasharala, and that means he shall rule as God. Rather, he's a prince of power. What it basically means prince of God, sons of God, children of God. And the child of God will also be a God himself. So this got so Salakia, this explanation is a little bit difficult for me to give because it's going completely different from what I actually wanted to talk about. I have to give a definition. I have to give a breakdown of this one somewhere else. This is pretty much telling. See how the scriptures, just one scriptures connect to so many different things. Here I am talked about like 4 different things. Now talked about Esau, talked about falling, talked about the history of Babylon and Tyre and Persia, and now I'm talking about this, bringing out all these different parts of this different parts of the doctrine. But let me just summarize it like this: the sons of God, the angels that the Bible was speaking about, was actually us Israelites, us Israelites that we sinned against we rebelled against the Most High Yahweh by looking upon the daughters of men and trying to have sex with them. Like let me let me get to the precept right now of which I said, because Yahweh basically confirmed that angels in heaven could not have sex with you, could not have sex or reproduce, which is how we know, which is how we and which is how the brothers and the others knew that you were not speaking of angels, but rather speaking of human beings that were likened unto angels or that are comparable to angels, which are basically the Israelites. Ye are not knowing. So let me quickly get it. Okay, it's in Matthew chapter 20, 22, Slovakia, Matthew 22, verse 30. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. So this passage is basically explaining that what I just spoke of before. The angels cannot have sex, because if you understand what marriage actually means in the scriptures, marriage is basically when you have sex with your significant other or your partner. Like today, this modern day when a marriage actually means marriage ceremony, but marriage in the old times, or as scriptures explain it, is basically when you go into your wife, when you go into her for the first time. That is basically considered a marriage. As soon as you sorry for the language, but as soon as you put your dick inside a woman, you have basically married her. And that's how it originally worked. There you go. There you go. And it says here that the angels of God in heaven cannot actually have sex, or they don't feel desire to have sex, and maybe they can't physically have perform that action either. So that passage in Genesis was actually talking about human beings, human beings were, because they were human beings, those human beings are the sons of God, meaning they are from the line of Seth, Adam's seed. They're from the line of Adam's seed, and they were probably messing with the seed of Cain. And because, as we all know, because now I'm going to go into something else that is completely different. So like, yeah, when this lesson actually carry me astray, far astray from where I am supposed to be go. But let me just quickly end this lesson once and for all, and so I can go into other things. This is Romans 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. I don't know whether anybody ever heard of this thing before, but the powers that be, which means the powers that control the society. Yes, even those powers are ordained by God. All powers are ordained by God. So that means the devil himself is, even this power is ordained by God. So how can Lucifer rebel against something that was, how can Lucifer rebel when he himself, all his power was ordained by Yahweh? Lucifer cannot possibly rebel against the person that gave him his power. We've already proven that Lucifer respects and obeys the Most High Yahweh. And I'm also get another scripture that shows that not even us human beings can resist the will of Yahweh, because even our actions, even though we sin against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we are still following his will, because as the others and the brothers usually say in Great Millstone, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the ultimate director, and he's trying to we try to write this movie and see it to the end. We're trying to make a perfect movie, and all of us are just basically playing our roles in it. This is Romans 9, verse 19. Thou wilt say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall a thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Basically, what the passage is showing you that Lucifer, there's no way that Lucifer can actually have the power to rebel against God, or the power to do anything against against the will of Yahweh. He just like us human beings follow and obey the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Guess the only difference between him and us is that he actually knows that he's obeying the will of Yahweh. I guess all the brothers in this truth actually know as well. Since we all believe in predestination, and that all our, as the scriptures say, I forgot now it is said, Well, men's goings are of the Lord. Yes, men's goings are of the Lord. That is in the book of Proverbs. All men's goings are of the Lord. So how can a man know his own way? No, maybe I should just get it. How can a man know his own way? And there's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of lessons that are coming out of this right now. There's a lot of lessons that are coming out of this right now. Yeah, it is. Proverbs 20, chapter 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Quite simple. It's showing that the Lord is one that orders our steps. That's why we don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We don't know anything about the future. We can't really explain what events will occur to us and what kind of things will happen to us. We can't assure anybody that of anything. We can only hope that the grace of God is with us as we continue in this way, and we hope that the Lord orders our steps in the right direction so that we can make the most of this limited life that we have. Let me guess, Job, just to show that even Satan obeys the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's probably the last scripture that I'll get. Okay. Um Job 1 chapter 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to represent themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. So basically God is telling you that Satan is also considered one of the sons of God. The reason why they make a distinction between angels and sons of God. The sons of God are basically the Israelites, the elect of Israel, or all Israel, but mainly the elect of Israel, and that's is what and this. Then Satan came to represent himself before Yahweh, Vashem Yahweh Shai. And Satan answered the Lord and said, okay, and Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down upon it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he had on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hand and his substance and is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will cause thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So Satan basically had to go and ask for God for permission to tempt Job. That's possibly how Satan has to go and ask for permission to tempt any other person that is on this earth. I say Job chapter 2, verse 1. And again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down upon it. This is Job chapter 2, verse 1. The one I read before was Job chapter 1, verse 6, where basically Satan asked for permission to punish, to tempt Job, and the Lord and Yahweh are giving permission, but so that she not come and touch Job's body, but she leave Job's body. Oh, but she should leave Job's, that she don't have bring any harm on Job's body. And the Lord said unto Satan, okay, so I already read this, and this is verse 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause? And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will cause thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. As you can see, Satan has to come on to Yahweh again to ask him permission to do harm upon the body of Job. and the Lord like granted information again, which is basically showing that there is no way that I'm seeing it again. There is no way that you can rebel against somebody but still come and meet them and ask them for permission to do something. That's not possible. Satan is not, first of all, there's no angel named Lucifer. Secondly, Satan is an angel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and follows the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and does not disobey Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson. I know it was long and I went off point a lot of times, and there were some things that I could not really explain very well because I was just for the sake of time and for the sake of not going off topic. Or maybe I'll do lessons on the things that I did not remember, I did not bring out in time, and hopefully all of you are edified, and Lord willing I can come again, and through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Lord willing I can come again and do more lessons on this thing. So that is it. Shalom.